Rudiger. Kimmich. Well, 2-1 in the Khalifa International Stadium with a late comeback. That will be the first card. Pressure here, halted in the end by Sula's shove on Ueda. Taking an interest here. Way too far out for an effort as far as he's concerned. This is Tomiyasu. Away win against the European side. You've got to remember they also beat Spain in the World Cup. Their last away win was 10 years ago against Belgium. Forward by Tomiyasu. Havertz. Kimmich. Chan. Japan wanting offside against Kai Havertz. Kimmich. Sula to Antonio Rudiger. Wirtz. Again, every time Germany lose the ball, there's a sense of dread almost around the stadium. It's Endo spraying it now for Junior Ito. Can't get the better of Schlotterbeck. But Sugawara's on hand to keep the attack going. Kamada. Endo.
Inteligente é usar a mesma conta no mundo todo, até nos rolês mais aleatórios. Por isso eu sempre levo a minha Global Account do Inter. Dá pra resolver tudo da viagem pelo Super App. Vida financeira global. Tem Inter pra isso.
Should have been more proactive in trying to get in at that far post. This is Sane. Kimmich providing some width. Chan, Gundogan, Gnabry. It's picked off. Toma able to bring it forward. Tied it up at the back. Joshua Kimmich, who did take a bit of a sore one in the warm-up. Some momentary concern. But he seems to be moving okay. The point of interest has been the release of a documentary about Germany's World Cup. Sane driving forward, and Wirtz arriving, but in close attendance was Koe Takura. Maybe Wirtz will feel he should have done better nonetheless. Sane with some good work. Of a documentary on one of the streaming services, which has delved deep into Germany's agonising World Cup in Qatar. The anger of the head coach very much in evidence during and after the match, which saw their exit. Kamada, Junior Ito. Schlotterbeck tidies up, but Japan are looking threatening. Every time they move into that final third. They just seem to have a more serrated cutting edge at the moment. Mitoma. Well, his mate from Brighton, Pascal Gross, is among the Germany substitutes. He could make his debut this evening. Oliver Baumann, who has been in the squad before, called up by Jogi Löw some years ago, is the other potential debutant tonight. Chan. Sane. Will go around the outside. Well, it was just begging for a telling touch. But Japan grateful it didn't get one. Well, he tortured Hiroki Ito, and well, Gundogan did make contact, and there's the reason they were appealing. It bounced onto Sugawara's arm. Well, agonising for everybody, that moment. Afraid to hit a real raking pass. At the moment, Japan have had about 35% of the possession. Moving slickly forward. Hiroki Ito to Mitoma. Oh, Sane's header was a terrible one away now. Oh, they were asking for trouble there.
Quer entrar no jogo da economia? Com cartão de todos tem consulta a partir de R$30 em clínicas parceiras, desconto em exames e benefícios para toda a família. E você ainda acumula um dinheiro de volta nas compras pelo app. Vem pra torcida de todos e peça já o seu.
Junior Ito running free again, but as you can see now, he's a good few yards offside. Interesting to see how well Japan can manage this game. Sugawara, Ito's offside again. It's not a terribly difficult decision. Chan. Kimmich. Chan. Ganged up on him. Kamara's challenges have deemed a foul. Sula. Wirtz. Kimmich. Gundogan. Rudiger. Sane. Good hop, skip and a jump. Oh, great contrast between the experience levels of those two. Thomas Muller and Kevin Schade have 123 international caps between them. Thomas Muller with 121 of them. Back in the squad. In part because of Niklas Füllkrug's injury. Borussia Dortmund, who've made a less than impressive start to the season. Certainly some concerns around it, at least. Quite a tough Champions League draw for them, which includes Milan, Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle United. Kimmich's ball, intended for Sane. Hiroki Ito able to get there. It's forward by Mitoma. And a forlorn chase for Ayase Ueda. Sane with plenty to say. Ueda, who was inspired into the striking business by watching his father play. Remembers him scoring a hat-trick when he was growing up. But, during his formative years, idolised Jurgen Klinsmann. Germany could do with a goal scorer of his calibre at the moment. Although Füllkrug is certainly getting goals on a regular basis. Hiroki Ito's ball in. Klinsmann, one of those players for the ages. Gnabry. Always capable of producing something in a tight space, and Havertz secures a free kick. A little bit of criticism of his start at Arsenal, yet to grab a goal. That's what he will be judged on. Doesn't appear too friendly with Tomiyasu in the middle there at the moment. A little bit of playful pushing. Sula. That's making a few headlines, complaining about the lack of support Germany have received.
O vermelho pode ser a cor da sofisticação ou da emoção, mas uma coisa é certa: o vermelho realça o que é principal. Bradesco Principal, o novo segmento do Bradesco. Uma nova experiência de atendimento, com conta americana e cartões exclusivos no melhor banco para investir. Bradesco Principal. O Bradesco que você já conhece, com a sofisticação que você nem imagina.
Ayasu were able to seize upon it. They had a lot of time to think about it. And that doesn't always help a striker. And ultimately it's a let-off for Germany. Ter Stegen reacting well. Kimmich. Gundogan, Wirtz, room to take aim. And once that room had disappeared, it was going to be more difficult. This is Chan. Kimmich. He's feeling a bit of pain at the moment, Florian Wirtz. Sane. Tomiyasu. It's very neatly done. Ueda. Kamada. Out to Mitoma. Sugawara wanted the switch. It's Morita now. And eventually, I'm sure it will find its way to Sugawara. Here he is. Junya Ito. Gnabry. Hiroki Ito. I'm sure may have plenty to say when he returns to Stuttgart. Tomiyasu, who's younger, was offered a place at Barcelona's academy. He couldn't relocate at that point. Sporting family, sisters both that sisters are professional swimmers. Sporting in Lisbon. Itakura of Borussia Mönchengladbach, formerly of Schalke. He's very familiar with these parts. To a major tournament where he made his debut. Osako, the goalkeeper, played when Japan played in the Copa America, as they have done here and there. And this was back in 2019. Itakura. Managing this well, Japan. And there may be some punch at the end of the prolonged spell of possession. Mitoma. Ueda, Mitoma. Now Wirtz. Sane. Well, is Tomiyasu going to get there? Yes is the answer. He emphatically shut the door. It was a great bit of defending. And Germany with a flowing counter-attack of their own. Sane powering away, just showed enough of it to Tomiyasu to make a crucial challenge. But this is the moment where the game might have been put out of sight. Schlotterbeck and Rudiger getting themselves in all kinds of trouble. Don't think Ueda caught it as cleanly as he might have done, and Ter Stegen got his positioning right on the break. Tomiyasu trying to take care of Rudiger. And the flick from the head of Itakura. Well, it's a familiar scoreline. It's a familiar feeling, but at least there is a half for Germany to recover. But they better do for Hansi Flick's sake. Behind to Ito's goal, Sane equalising pretty swiftly, but almost immediately Ayase Ueda popping up to make it. Germany 1, Japan 2. It's referee Jorge João Pinheiro.
Awesome is for everyone. Circle it. Awesome. Find it. Intelligence. Awesome find plus intelligence. Plus intelligence.
Productive with less possession. Oh, given away once again, this time by Ter Stegen, and Junya Ito wouldn't curl back quite far enough. And it's not the first time Germany have got themselves into unnecessary trouble. Well, it has to be better in this second half. They've had some good moments, but to be honest, it seems to be more down to little nuggets of individual quality rather than any great cohesive team play. Gnabry. And it's broken for Gnabry here. Great turn! And picked off by Morita, who was in a great position. This is Schlotterbeck. And a corner. Something to attack. That's what they want Joshua Kimmich to produce here. Oh. There's Niklas Süle coming in at that near post. I have to say, that looked a very presentable chance to me. Oh, yes, a good opportunity that. There are these loose moments from Germany, and Junya Ito is powering down this near side. Oh, and he's got there, and Ayase Ueda, heavy touch cost him. Morita, in, no, side netting. Well, Junya Ito so energetic. And he ghosted in behind there, caught Schlotterbeck out. The touch of Ueda just let him down. The shot by Morita just whistled the wrong side of the net from Japan's point of view. I thought for a moment he'd put the game to bed. But it's those moments of uncertainty that are far too frequent for Germany. Sugawara's corner wasn't great, but he'll get another chance. He's that given offside in the end. which is fair enough. Well, it takes a certain bravery and confidence to play this way. There's no place to get the jitters back there, and Chan has run into difficulty. Junya Ito got the opening goal via Antonio Rudiger. So full of energy. Just very, very wary of Leroy Sané, and just dropping in there to make it pretty much a back five. This is Schlotterbeck. Good ball, Gnabry. He's got a flash of inspiration in him. Oh, Nasako came and was not conclusive, but they were very well aware that it had opened up invitingly there for Gnabry, and I think Itakura in the end made the most telling contribution in blocking his shot. Here's Itakura. And Schlotterbeck to pick it up. Gnabry. Sugawara. Itakura. Yes, Ueda's got a free kick. To Sula's incredulity. Sula, a player who Turkey approached to play for them at one stage on the grounds that his name sounded Turkish. He's actually got some Hungarian roots. Offside against Junya Ito. Been caught a few times.
Final de mês na área. A folha de pagamento não pode ser um contra-ataque perigoso para o seu RH. Com a folha digital da Solids, você dribla erros com agilidade, elimina o retrabalho e entrega conformidade financeira para o negócio. É o seu fechamento de mês com a tranquilidade de quem domina o campo. Solids! Aqui a sua folha joga fácil.
Rudiger. Schlotterbeck. Havertz might have strayed offside there. Doesn't matter. Endo. Japan just pretty happy to idle through, try and keep hold of possession, frustrate Germany. The level of control in the game was actually increasing towards half-time. Possession now up into the 40s in percentage terms. And what's notable, for all the ball Germany have had, they've had 8 attempts, only 2 on target. Japan have had 7 attempts and 5 on target. for it. Well, Ter Stegen has been very safe with his handling. Wouldn't have expected to be beaten there, but a sense of reassurance about his presence. Well, Neuer, of course, having that skiing accident after the World Cup. A couple of new faces set to come in for Japan, Shogo Taniguchi, and one face that won't be particularly welcome, Takuma Asano, scorer in the World Cup victory on a day when he came off the bench. Indeed, both goal scorers did that day. Gnabry. Chan. Sula. Or rather Kimmich. Here he is again. Here's Sula. Schlotterbeck. Gnabry. Chan. This is better. Gundogan. Chan. Kimmich. We've got the outlet of Sane now, and it is very, very congested. Chan. Trying to break the lines through athleticism. It's the likes of Gnabry and Sane who have the skills. Sula, Kimmich, now Sane up against Mitoma. Rudiger. Schlotterbeck. Gnabry. Gundogan hoping to get it back, but it'll fall to Itakura. Wade, a tussling physical battle with Rudiger is usually a losing one. Well guided there by Havertz to Sane. Need to get him on the ball. Hiroki Ito got the block in. Sane again. He has the capacity to take defenders out of the game, whether it's with his close control or a neat passing triangle at pace. Havertz found that he could use his body to get away from defenders against Ukraine. It's more difficult tonight. So it's the end of the night for Kamara and for Ayase Ueda. Takuma Asano. He's not necessarily warmly welcome, plays for Bochum. This is the goal for Ueda. It's one he'll treasure. It's only his second for his country. And Taniguchi, they're going to have a potentially a little bit of a reshuffle here. I'm just wondering where he's going to go. Well, my suggestion would be Mitoma further forward and Hiroki Ito back to the flank. He'll slot into the centre of defence. And that is indeed where he's gone, with Tomiyasu taking up the left centre-back role. This is Gundogan and now Gnabry. Chan. I don't know how he did it, but he did. Schlotterbeck. It's not often your best contribution to a football match comes from a seated position. Reminder, Germany without Füllkrug and Musiala, two players who would certainly give them more in an attacking sense. Goretzka too, who after a slightly troubled pre-season at Bayern has certainly fully re-established himself in their midfield. And that was a surprise omission, although possibly the troubles with Tuchel in pre-season thought to be a reason behind it. This is Sane. Now Asano. Mitoma. Morita. Endo. Morita. Tomiyasu now to Itakura. And Junya Ito. Needs help. Itakura will provide it, but won't measure the pass. Gundogan. Involved in Germany's goal in what was a very slick move. I'm going to see a German debutant very shortly. Pascal Gross is ready to enter the international stage, as is Robin Gosens, who were out here on the pitch for a good chunk of the half-time interval, so it's no great surprise that they are the first new faces for Hansi Flick in this second half. The Wolfsburg crowd feeling it's all a little ponderous. The thrill of a rush of skill, something to lift them. Rudiger. Gnabry. Wirtz making a purposeful run up ahead. And here's Sane, who has the beatings of Hiroki Ito. Terrific run. Gundogan, Wirtz. Endo couldn't get it away. Schlotterbeck is fouled, is he? No. There is VAR, but João Pinheiro, the on-pitch official, absolutely adamant that there was no case there for Nico Schlotterbeck, who got his foot between Endo and ball and was caught. But not deemed to be.
Inteligente é usar a mesma conta no mundo todo, até nos rolês mais aleatórios. Por isso eu sempre levo a minha Global Account do Inter. Dá para resolver tudo da viagem pelo Super App e contar com uma taxa de câmbio mais barata para converter e se divertir. Parece bruxaria, mas é a Global Account 100% gratuita do Inter. Vida financeira global. Tem Inter para isso.
First time. He last represented Germany 12 years ago at under 20 level. A 3-1 win over Italy, an Italy side that contained Lorenzo Insigne. Player of great football intellect and enormous versatility. And in sparkling form over a long period for Brighton and Hove Albion. And who'd have thought it a few years back that in an international match between Germany and Japan we would have two players from Brighton and Hove Albion on the field. Gross of Germany and Mitoma of Japan. It appears that Gross is going to be asked to play at the base of midfield. So it has, in effect, been a straight swap with Emre Can. Here he is dropping between the two centre-backs, as Can often does. Sula now to Gosens. Gnabry. Gosens full of freshness. Junior Ito's energy levels are prodigious, although somewhat reduced by the attentions of Robin Gosens, and those attentions deemed worthy of a yellow card. And there is a little chop across, with no great hope of winning the ball. So is it going to be another memorable day for those young Japanese football fans who must just think this is how it is when Japan play Germany? Not so on the German bench. So Danny Röhl next to Hansi Flick there. He's fully aware of the level of scrutiny that he is under. And with Julian Nagelsmann, this highly precocious young coach who's currently not in a job, looming like a very dark shadow, would be an easier decision to make. Gosens, no flag. But it was clearly, in the end, an offside. Robin Gosens, son of a Dutch father, once said, "I would not say no to the Dutch team, but I have to be asked." It wasn't soon enough. Decision makers, Ben Neundorf, who is on the left, Rudy Fuller on the right, appearing with increasing frequency and close-up during Germany's matches. Many suggestive there is a decision to be made. This is Pascal Gross. It's going to be quite the year for Brighton and Hove Albion, with a European challenge and a fascinating Europa League group with AEK of Athens, better known as AEK in the English-speaking world, and Ajax and Marseille waiting their first ever European campaign. Which begins a week on Thursday. Well, if anything looking like this continues by the next Thursday, Hansi Flick may well be seeking other employment.
Assuma a artilharia da economia. Com o cartão de todos, você recebe dinheiro de volta pelo app no supermercado, restaurante, posto de gasolina e até no gás de cozinha. São milhares de parceiros. Peça já o seu e comece a aproveitar.
Out of the 9 they've had. Gosens. Gnabry. A simple pass, Rudiger is forced to check unnecessarily. He's trying to make his point forcefully. Sané. Every time he gets the ball, there is at least a threat of a spark. Oh, and now Asano will get there first with Junya Ito in support. Asano! And Ter Stegen in the right place at the right time yet again. Mitoma! Well, but for him, you do wonder what the scoreline could read at the moment. That one save from the Morita effort that ended up in the side netting, probably the best. Others of a more routine variety, but his positioning has been perfection. But of the 9 efforts on the target, he's managed to repel 7 of them. It's almost like Japan is saying, well, come on then, you try and break us down, because we know we can hit you on the counter. And they're very much controlling things, but Wirtz hoping to change that, and Sané hoping to change that. Tomiyasu with a really cool bit of defending. Well, some may call that more than shoulder to shoulder, but there was no big appeal. Just made his presence felt. He made one crucial challenge in the first half. Wirtz biting a little hard. It's just a case of him showing Sané who was boss. Julian Brandt and Thomas Muller. Wirtz withdrawn. And likewise Kai Havertz. It's the old stager. Acclaim, who steps onto the stage hoping to lead the rescue act for Germany and for Hansi Flick. Japan, as we saw, prepared to deploy a couple of pairs of fresh legs as well. A fair old fistful of shirt from Hiroki Ito and Muller there. That's Sané, Gross, Julian Brandt, Kimmich, and the header. Oh, and an opportunity for Gosens. There was Taniguchi's header, which fell invitingly Getting balls into the box and asking a defensive question. So, it's the end for Junya Ito, the bundle of energy down the right-hand side, and for Hidemasa Morita. So, Ao Tanaka and Takeusa Kubo, who will come on. An awful lot is going to change tactically. Tanaka will just go into the centre of that midfield, and Kubo will operate in the wide position. Kubo scored 3 goals already this season for Real Sociedad. Player of undoubted high quality. Rudiger. Muller to attack it. Met by Tomiyasu.
Se o principal é ter tempo, conte com o seu gerente de relacionamento e os novos escritórios de negócios em horário estendido. Bradesco Principal. O Bradesco que você já conhece, com a sofisticação que você nem imagina.
Ter Stegen with a really good strong arm. Mitoma then more straightforward for the goalkeeper. And that was a fine save to deny Asano from Ter Stegen. And a save from Morita too, also very important, the one that guided it into the side netting. Well, is he hoping and praying as much as anything? Well, it's only the World Cup runners-up next. Nothing to worry about. Thrilling prospect on Tuesday night in Dortmund. France without Olivier Giroud, incidentally, for that match. Tanaka. Sugawara's made a useful run there, but it's cut off at the pass by Robin Gosens. Morita. Mitoma. Endo. Itakura. Behind Sugawara is Kubo. Was that a foul? No. Gross gets it back from Muller. Julian Brandt, Sané making the run. The situation read not just by Tomiyasu, who stepped in typically composed fashion, but also by Hiroki Ito behind him. But Japan had lost it. Gundogan. Asano goes a-tumbling. Rudiger. Asano. Mitoma. Tanaka. Put in by Gross. Hiroki Ito. Touch of tightness about that. This is Gundogan. A little bit of menace about this until Tomiyasu stepped in. He's been outstanding. Rudiger. Sula. Gross. Won't even get a corner out of that. Well, played for the unfashionable German club Ingolstadt for 5 years. And then in club Karlsruhe, that's had its famous names in the past, but they dropped down to the 3rd tier during his time there. For emerging largely unknown at Brighton, signed by Chris Hughton. Earning a reputation as one of the most intelligent footballers in the Premier League, and Manchester United certainly have suffered at his feet more often than not. But I doubt he thought this opportunity would ever come around. Well, Sané has earned a free kick there. Hiroki Ito feeling it was a dubious decision, and on that evidence I'm very inclined to agree.